I'm rather incoherent. Today, the deck is Jailer Morgana's Warlock. The plan is simple. If my minions are invincible and my minions make me invincible, my opponent can't win. It's a very compelling plan. Of course, there are two ways around this. Three, really. One, you can disrupt it. You can take these out of my hand and prevent me from doing it. Two, you can go under it. You can just kill me before turn 11. That's a pretty good win. Or three, indiscriminate removal like Soul Stealer, Twisting Nether, Asphyxiate. There are ways to kill Morganas even though he is immune. So, the first way, the most likely way, is getting under me. So this deck is the most anti-aggro control deck of all time. Armor Bender, Mortal Coil, Blood Mage Thalnos, Defile, Dirty Rat, Drain Soul, Hellfire, Twisted Tether, Opera Soloist, Ziliax, Sylvanas. And Dar'Khan's just a thing to throw down to heal myself and make them deal with it to help stabilize. It's not actually anything else, it's just a stabilization tool. It only works if I'm not already dead, but with the rest of these tools I should be nowhere near dead and it should get the value I want out of it. Then we're worried about combo decks and other decks trying to disrupt us, so we have Theotard the Mad Duke, Dirty Rats, and Zola the Gorgon in case I feel like I need even more counter disruption, because they can't Dirty Rat me if I Dirty Rat them. Also, if they Dirty Rat me like on turn 2 as a tempo Dirty Rat with Morganas, I'm the aggro deck now. I'll just figure out what to do from there. That would be unfortunate, but it's not very likely, because they have to A, hit Dirty Rat, I have to hit Morganas, and B, they have to then randomly roll it. So it should be safe to tempo Dirty Rats, and my opponent isn't really. Additionally, you'll notice we have an ETC and a Zola. This is because ETC is for 3 different matchups. Well, one matchup is all the other ones, Symphony of Sense. I don't think this card is generally good. It's a very high value card, but I can play ETC and take this out of it if I find myself in a matchup where value is worth it. Photographer Fizzle is specifically for the Blood Death Knight matchup because they have so many ways of killing my Morganas. What you do is you play Fizzle to take a snapshot of your hand, then you Zola the Fizzle to put Fizzle back in your hand, and you've invested nothing, and you've taken a picture of Morganas. So now you can play him without fear of him being removed, and you just do this over and over again to get around all their Soul Stealers. This also gives you more minions to prevent the Soul Stealers from just instantly winning the game by killing Morganas as well. Not Soul Stealers, Patchwork. So that's the reason Zola is here. Zola's generally got other targets with things like Dirty Rat as well. And that's why Photographer Fizzle is in here. Coroner is for Kangor, specifically. That's the only deck I care about that needs silences, but silence is generally useful, and Symphony of Sense is okay. So yeah, that's the deck, that's the plan. Control anything and everything, and then tell them they literally are not allowed to play the game anymore. Alright, we're up against probably Outcast Demon Hunter. Do you slam Dirty Rat against Outcast Demon Hunter? They don't have very many large minions, do they? There's definitely some that I wouldn't want to slam this against, and there are a lot that do things continually while they're on board. I'm gonna see how tempo Dirty Rat goes here. Not convinced it's good, but I'm also not convinced it's bad. I am ready to get blown the fuck out by my bad decision making here. Sylvanas immediately seems good. That will, no, because he doesn't have any big targets for it. So Sylvanas being charged doesn't actually matter to me. Alright, let's see it. That is the worst case scenario. Like, bar none, the biggest minion and the most terrible thing to put on the board was Helvaria. Unfortunate. So, what do I do if Dirty Rat die? Okay, that's fine. If you actually trade in, it's fine. Dirty Rat did his job, and I'm happy to see Helvaria gone. My fear was about Helvaria staying on board entirely. I can Mortal Coil that and tap, we have no fear. Oh, you have nothing. Man, that's an abysmal draw. He had Helvaria and still nothing on 2. Tap, Mortal Coil the 2-1. Opera Soloist on 5 looks solid, so I don't really want to put a board down on 4. Man, I'm looking at this. I'm like, if Zola and ETC were Harp, would I feel better about the deck? And the answer is tremendously. It's not like I've drawn them. They don't matter in this case, but if I Dirty Rat a minion, there's like no minion that actually matters. Helvaria was the biggest thing. It was the only thing I even cared about. That's unfortunate, but nothing I can do about it. If the 5/5's involved with getting through this taunt, as it very well may be, then we're fine. If it's not, it's a problem. So the 5/5 goes face then, which is really unfortunate for me, because it means I don't have a clear answer to it. Oh, why would you do that instead of using your weapon? That's what you call a misplay. That is incorrect, and I don't see any... Like, yeah, you get marginally more burn doing this. Just play Dispose of Evidence on a future turn. It'll be fine. So how many draws is that? It's a lot. It's 3. It's not that bad. There have been worse. Opera Soloist to clear board since he's giving me the option. I've got Ziliax, I've got Astalor 8, I've got Dar'Khan on 7. It's a good thing I have options to heal, but if he just goes face without playing a minion, I don't have an option to heal. Does he know that he should trade it? Alright, he's giving me targets for Ziliax, I greatly appreciate this. You could eat the 4/6. I can't imagine he... Really? Instead of putting me to 8, he has faith in my anti-aggro abilities. He has more faith in them than I do, to be honest. I think this is just Ziliax, right? I could play Astalor Zola. I'd much rather play Ziliax Armor Vendor. Like, I would like to get a second Ziliax, and this means that I probably won't. But also, that's so greedy and so far from now. Just make the play that does well now. Oh, man. That is unfortunate. I don't even get the lifesteal now. I don't think he has too many cheap effects in his hands. He could spiral this a little bit if he gets a 0 cost reduce, if he gets the, what's it called? The Fierce Outsider. But I think this is probably the last that the no charge is getting this turn, which is good because I can't afford for him to have many more. Are you infused? 1 off. So sad. Oh, God. Thankfully, she's only at 2. There's no rowdy fan synergies happening here. So I'm back down to 12. I need to deal with that, and the only way for me to do so is Astalor, Zola, Astalor. So, good job, Zola. I was talking shit, but I'm glad you're here. Please don't kill me from hand, friendo. I absolutely cannot make any play that leaves that on board, and this was my only play other than Sylvanas to deal with it. This seems decidedly better than Sylvanas and float 1 mana. I don't think Outcast Demon Hunter has much burn from an empty hand and an empty board with Sethano already played. I think I'm safe. I don't think there's a random generation out of this, especially with 4 mana already spent. I'm still looking at cards like Theotar, ETC, and Zola with tremendous skepticism. Even Dar'Khan a little bit.
Fresh fell steel, hot out of the kiln.
Ganar Glavesmith hardly matters to me. That's nowhere near enough burn for me to be intimidated. Absolutely. Spend as much mana as you want putting minions on the board. I don't like the ones that deal 3 damage to my face, though. So how is Defile looking on this board? I can create a 1 health minion, a 2 health minion, and a 3 health minion, and then Defile. Alright. Trade in 1, 2, 3 across the board. I don't need to Hellfire, I can just use Defile here. And then the best thing I can do on 6 mana is going to be Astalor, obviously. Good job, Defile. Glad you're back in the core set. And this is why Astalor's in the deck, by the way. It's not just because he's generally valuable. He is a legitimate anti-aggro tool. He is the reason I win this game. Funnily enough, so is Zola. She might have earned her spot in the deck off of this. Now, he can randomly generate a lot here, but I don't think he can deal too much damage to me from hand. I think with the exception of Ganar Glavesmith, all the other Outcast stuff only affects board. Just 6 of these in a row and fills his board with 2/1 rushes. That would be pretty funny.
If 3 rights make a left.
Wretched Exile is such a strong card with the current Outcast pool. It's very good.
If 3 rights make
Man, I need you to stop that. It's such a good card. With Helveria gone, I technically can leave this on the board. It's just going to be 6 damage. The big problem is this guy. Yeah, it's just Hellfire. And the other one, right? There's nothing to think about. I could technically do Twisted Tether on the 2/3 and ignore the other ones. Let's not get crazy. I'm feeling good about running all of these area effects because I've used all 3 of them. I've used Hellfire, I've used Defile, and I've used Soloist. And I need another one, honestly. Like, I need to find some more. Because he's going to put down another board. We haven't seen the last Wretched Exile yet. All right.
If 3 rights make
More mana cheat, of course, of course.
Who's hiding now?
Outcast Demon Hunter is such a funny deck. I cannot predict what their board will look like at all. I understand the win condition. It's scam. It's scam your opponent out of the game, get all the cards and all the mana cheat. But I'm not really sure how to describe it as a succinct win condition. Here I haven't taken any damage. I can just Astalor, clear his board.
Never catch me.
And then that threatens lethal with the next Astalor, and there's not really anything else to think about. Like, the Jailer's cool and all, but I like winning. And he's not in my hand as well, so Argon isn't really doing anything either. I'm at 12, he's at 3 cards in hand. Technically, if all 4 cards in hand are dispose of evidence, I can lose. So, to play around that, we're gonna lifesteal here. I can't imagine a world where I was dead without playing that, but I really can't imagine a world I'm dead where I do play that.
Is it safe to think
Alright, second Wretched Exile, let's see what it does.
3 rights make a lake?
How many Wayward Sages is this? Does it tell me?
Never catch me.
He's played 4.
If 3
Make it 5.
make a lake,
Cards don't cost mana. That's fake news. That is just a mainstream media lie. Cards cost a little bit of time for Wretched Exile to finish animating. But none of this matters. That's not enough health to live through an Astalor. So even though he's not getting killed, he's very much not winning the game.
Now.
It is cool as hell, but it's also not gonna finish me off at all. I wonder if this deck gets a lot scarier with Illidari Inquisitors or if it breaks the draws too much. Not surprised to see Astalor going down. Upset about it, because I wanted to make sure this guy dies. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 on board. 14 pings. It probably kills everything. I really want that Wretched Exile dead, but honestly, it's just going to generate draw and kill him anyway, so who cares? On the flip side, though, like, what if you just played Defile first? Like, sure, that's a little bit more locked in. I'm feeling good about Control Warlock this game. This is feeling pretty solid. I definitely got a little bit closer to dying than I would have liked, but we still managed to turn the corner and win against what appears to be a pretty good deck.
Your judgment begins.
All right, we're up against Paladin, presumably pure Paladin. We don't want any of this in our opening hand. Even Drain Soul's not good because Drain Soul is capable of just, you know, hitting a Divine Shield and doing nothing. This hand's not any better.
Prepare yourself.
welcome to your end.
Anyway, I'm very worried about this matchup now that I don't have turn 1 Armor Vendor. So if he plays Spotlight, what do? I tap, like I do if he plays anything else. And then I coin tether the 5/5? Definitely feeling like maybe Harps in this deck would make me feel so much safer, right? Mortal Coil doesn't do anything without killing it, so just tap and be sad. If he plays minions, goes face, and the buff hits the 2/1, it actually becomes big enough to justify using Twisted Tether on it. Oh, you're not pure at all. You're Mex or Menagerie.
Reporting for duty.
If I were him, yeah, I'd hold the attack. That's what I figured. No Defile, unfortunately. I can tap Tour Guide and bank it for next turn. Or I can just Tour Guide tap and see if I hit something. But aside from Defile, there's nothing I even want. So I'm going to tap here. Hey, speak of the devil. So with Mortal Coil Defile, we can get through a lot, but a big buffed minion will make it more difficult for us to be sure.
1 and 2 and 3.
Oh shit, look at him! He's a metronome deck! I love it! That does remove the 1 health minions from the board, unfortunately. So I have to use Mortal Coil, and then we don't have 3s, which is unfortunate. Hellfire, Coin, Defile will do it, though. Right? This goes down to 2. This is a 1, a 2, a 3. Oh no, it won't. Because you'll Divine Shield the first bit. If I play Twisted Tether, what's the rest of the play? It's not pretty, that's for damn sure, but I'm going to be going down to 5. This is the play. And I don't tap this turn, because it increases the odds of me being dead pretty substantially, and it just overdraws in the first place. Hellfire Defile kills what's currently on board. Hopefully it kills whatever comes out after it too. But I feel very dead. Basically any weapon will kill me, but I'm assuming he's just Disco Maul only, which makes it pretty unlikely that he has the second one. He's probably over there thinking about the best 2-drop to play and then what 3-drops he's likely to draw off Metronome. That's what I would be doing. Surprised to see Metronome getting value the first time it's played, but I mean, it's also just a good curve running over a deck that had nothing, so checks out that Metronome would do something. Interesting. What? Excuse me? We have a 1, a 2, and a 3. Perfect. Defile still clears. Now, Hellfire Tap does kill me. I don't have the mana for Opera Soloist instead of Hellfire. So, Hellfire Defile it is. Just not gonna be using this free hero power for a little while, assuming I'm not dead. Jitterbug is not pretty for my current situation. Zilliax is pretty for my current situation. It is probably better to Opera Soloist, though. He didn't have lethal last turn, so he probably doesn't have lethal presently either. Getting Zilliax on board gives me, getting Zilliax to get more valuable removal. You run Baron Geddon? What the fuck? All right, yeah, sure, Baron Geddon lethal, I guess. I'll leave that in. That was a real random way to get killed. That wasn't even discovered. That's just hard in the deck. Why? Why? Whenever I say bad decks win games all the time, that's just how draw orders work. That's how the nature of card games is. I'll always now think back to that time Mech Menagerie Paladin killed me with Baron Geddon. That is amazing. I'm not even mad, I'm just confused. I'm genuinely... What's the point? Like, you only win games where you're ahead on curve. Why would you even want Baron Geddon? Anyway, Warlock Mirror, Control Mirror, oh no. I did build my deck with the maximum possible amount of disruption though, so that's worth mentioning. And the fact that I left out the Harp, which definitely killed me in the last matchup probably, also means I have an advantage in this matchup. All right, so this is not the Control Mirror at all. This is 100% an aggressive imp list. I can Mortal Coil here. I'd rather Scourge Supplies if I'm not overdrawing, which I'm not. Defile is very good. Dirty Rat is pretty good. I don't have time to play a second Scourge Supplies in an aggressive matchup. And I'm not actually too worried about killing his 1 with Mortal Coil because that lines up a Defile. Oh, wait. Does Defile just against Imp Gang Boss work the way I want it to? I'm pretty sure it does. So the board is just clear to Defile now. I don't care about this Dirty Rat at all. And it actually means I kill anything that gets ratted off of it as well. And then we Defile. Yeah, it kills everything. Thanks, Gang Boss. And now he doesn't get to refill with 3/3/3 imps thanks to the Dirty Rat. It's sick. Good job, Dirty Rat. Good job, enemy imp Gang Boss, for helping out the Defile turn. That's gross. That's so gross. Tap is probably not the recovery he's looking for. ETC can get Coroner. It can get, oh yeah, it's over here. Fizzle and Symphony of Sense. I don't think I'll be playing Symphony of Sense on 6 though. I'd probably be playing Theatar. If he plays Rafam, I might know, because then Symphony of Sense. I'm going first, so I'm going to try to Theatar's Rafam in all honesty. I'm going to Tour Guide for a free hero power, and then play the second Tour Guide for a free hero power next turn. I don't know that I value the spell damage on Blood Mage Thalnos, but having these hit for 4 and 2 probably matters. Drawing also matters, and saving mana also matters. Making him feel like he needs to deal with Thalnos is not something I mind at all. Coin Reform? Unfortunate, because I did really want to steal that out of your hand with Theotar. Trade, Mortal Coil, trade, Mortal Coil, Lifesteal, trade. 2 mana left, not enough to do anything. Tap. I also have Opera Soloist, so I can trade Opera Soloist. He'll be left with a good chunk of shit. Probably not the best. No, because if I do trade to get this down to 3, I can still do a Mortal Coil before the Opera Soloist, get this down to 3.
Your tour ends here. Your tour ends here.
Mortal Coil here. Trade here. Opera Soloist. Why didn't he file a library that turn? I just realized that, like, he just didn't use the library, and it would have been really helpful if he had. Infuse 3, so we'll probably just be destroying something. It's gonna be the Reform that's hitting me for 1 million right now. That's what's gonna be getting destroyed by Sylvanas. Man, that is gas. That is gas for days. Alright, this Reform's gonna fucking hurt. We're still okay, actually. Just gonna clear the board again, it's fine. You really can't leave all of that up. As much as I really don't want to use another AoE there, he's just got too much on board. Sylvanas is too bad against it, I'm just getting run over if I don't play that. Theotar and ETC definitely feeling like cards that maybe shouldn't be in the deck. Oh, that's a way for you to try to win. Hit this Dar'Khan, probably. I can Mortal Coil it as well. Sure. Alright, Dar'Khan saved me. Like, he can definitely trade for the Dar'Khan by using, you know, playing any 2 imps, double buffing Astalor and trading. But that also puts me at a safe amount of health, and you can't really ignore it. Really? You're still playing the Abyssal stuff? That's very surprising to me. Without Brand, the Abyssal package looks so weak to me.
You here for the tour?
This probably just stays in my hand and deals an extra damage. It's the first one, who cares?
These books are ruined.
So I Theotar is Astalor here, right? Like, that's the plan every single time? He's only got 5 cards in hand? I don't mind giving him Armor Vendor, so I play the Theotar first. Ideally, I give him the Abyssal Curse.
Is no excuse for bad manners.
Yeah, you can have this Abyssal Curse, buddy. I'm going to tap. I have the health to do this.
Armor.
All right. That felt pretty good. Steal his Astalor, get rid of the curse. I'm still not convinced he's dead because he has another impending catastrophe, so I'm pretty sure he's, like, realistically mostly fine, but if he trades and plays 4, 4, 8, 10, I'm not dead to Fiendish Circle double vial library. I'm not dead to Fiendish Circle double vial library, but it does hurt like hell. Does this deck have damage from hand? Yes, the Abyssal Curses. I can Sylvanas his 10/10. That's obviously very good. There's no way he doesn't go face here. I'm at 5 health if I do that with 4 mana. Gross. Would really like a defile here, but unfortunately it's still in the deck. I can Drain Soul Sylvanas. 2 mana goes wasted, unfortunately. This is 3 damage, 6 damage from Vial Library. I'm pretty low if I'm doing this. I can do Twisted Tether and Astalor instead. That gives me a lot more health in this turn. I can steal whatever his big minion is next turn as well. I think I need to do this, unfortunately. And then when we remove as much from the board as we can, it won't do much, but it's the best we've got. And that gives us mana to play Armor Vendor as well. Yeah, that's decidedly better than the Sylvanas play. We're almost certainly not getting burnt out at this turn. We're going into Astalor 8, which is when we can actually, you know, just turn the board around completely. We have Sylvanas ETC, which is kind of shit, but we have Sylvanas Drain Soul, which is notably better. Wow, you're just hard running Symphony of Sins in your aggro deck, huh? It makes sense. With impending catastrophes, you're very likely to get to draw all of them. Yeah, that one's pretty good. He has 2, 4, 6, 9 damage represented, so I can't just Jailer here. I guess it's not unlikely, right? He's drawn everything, but still. I think that's too much steam. I think running Symphony of Sins in that deck makes a ton of sense. I think that's a place where it actually is a good card, because you're going to draw your whole damn deck. But, oh god, what do I do here? It's certainly not my own Symphony. I'm dead if I play Jailer, unfortunately. Drain Soul Astalor's gonna leave me dead, right? He's gonna have 4 2/2s, they all die, he gets 3 2/2s back, that's 6, that's 9, I'm at 8, I die. Alright, it's Dirty Rat, Sylvanas, Drain Soul, there's not another way I can possibly be alive.
A little fire never hurt nobody.
Man, this Sylvanas is fucking huge.
I will never serve, but you shall.
Alright, that's the control play that I've got. Let's see how it goes. Am I just dead to hard removal? Really? No. I don't know if that's enough on its own to kill me. It's 2 from here. Trade 2, 4, 7, 8, 9. I am a 2 over that right now. He needs a little bit more gas. If he taps into the one that deals lifesteal damage or the one that buffs minions, I die. Like, odds are very good. Like, it's not actually favored, but there's a very real chance I'm just dead. Ah, oh, damn it. I think that's exact lethal. I wish my opponent had counted faster because it's heartbreaking. It's 2 over, 1 over. Ah, oh, that's so frustrating. That deck seems absolutely sick. I was thinking that the Imp stuff wouldn't still be there, and I'm not convinced there's any reason to run the Abyssal stuff that he just killed me with, which I know he did just kill me with it, but like the Abyssal stuff is not the strong thing he was doing there. I think there's definitely a very good Imp deck based on Symphony of Sins having insane synergy with Impending Catastrophe. That's really good. So we're cutting ETC and Zola from the deck. That shit's cute. Felshing Harp keeps you alive and wins games, though. So we're going to switch over to that because it's clearly better.
Let the hunt begin.
Arise, my faithless steed.
I'll keep 1 of the Armor Vendors for a turn 1 play, but 2 is excessive. All right, we got stuff to do in the early game. Hopefully it works out. All right, if my opponent's Face Hunter, this will be a good test of the deck's anti-aggro abilities. If my opponent's Big Dreams Hunter and I lose, it says something alarming about this deck. Well, no, I guess not, because Big Dreams Hunter is bad due to how shit it is against aggro. Theoretically, winning against a slow control deck doesn't mean the control deck is bad, does it? It feels like it means that, because I don't think what Big Dreams Hunter does is even that strong. Yeah, we'll find out. Definitely turn 1 Armor Vendor, going into tap on 2, and then on 3 Scourge Supplies. Torghast will get played eventually. Alright, if I were playing a Big Beast Hunter, would I find the room to get Instrument Tech? Yeah, for a Harpoon. But in Face Hunter, I don't think I would have room to find the Jungle Jammer. So I think that means Harpoon is coming down.
What is taking so long?
In my mind, that means it's Big Beast Hunter and he just tutored the Harpoon, right? That's the most sensible thing to be happening. All right, yeah, good. I have an idea of what's going on. That doesn't mean we're okay. It just means I know what's happening. I don't really have any interest in killing that 1/1. It could be relevant for Defile turns in the future. Although realistically, Defile is probably a pretty bad card against Big Dream Hunter. Scourge Supplies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Learned my lesson. Opera Soloist is great. Felshing Harp is probably not relevant in the matchup. Don't think that's going to matter here. Probably should have tossed the Dirty Rat, considering the deck I'm against. I know Felshing Harp's probably not great, but I think the Dirty Rat is literally unplayable. I wonder how good it is to run double silence in this deck just because it has tradable and it's relatively okay. Probably not, right? I want this coin out of my hand. I'm gonna play the Opera Soloist. Like, he's just going to hit me with it over and over again and hold the harpoon gun until it goes off. Nothing to really be done about it. And he can attack here, dredge it up, trade, and pull a random piece from his deck. We'll see how it goes. Oh yeah, it's gonna be Call Reduce, so he has mana to do this as well and try to duplicate it. I think he would have snap picked if he had found it, so I don't think he has it. Wait, you're not hitting the 4/6? It's a 4/3 still, right? Like, you are planning on playing it and trading it in, aren't you? Oh, there we go. Next turn, you'll just hit it again. Okay, fair enough. I have Dirty Rat, Twisted Tether on 6. That seems all right. I'm probably just going to be using Twisted Tether on 6, let's be honest with ourselves.
I'm not getting any younger.
Hero Power, Tour Guide. Seems like it's just Ziliax, right? And I'll still get 2 attacks out of Ziliax effectively. This will make it trade in with the, what's it called? The Sunken Saber, by keeping the Divine Shield on it. That's a lot of sabers, man. That's a frankly alarming amount of cats. That is unfortunate. Considering I have hard removal against, you know, everything that's individually large. I guess it's fine, actually, because I do have AoE as well. Yeah, no, I'm fine. I was initially upset, but I guess it doesn't really matter. Defile on its own clears this. I can just hit Mortal Coil and not even care about the 3/1s. Hits Hellfire. I'm so tempted to play Dirty Rat here, man. I'm doing it. If it's something huge, I can Twisted Tether it. Yeah, that's something huge. I'm not really worried about killing the Hydrolodon this turn. It just doesn't matter to me. It's like, yeah, it's a problem, but I want more value on my AoEs. Which is greedy as shit and stupid, I know, but that's just the minion. Oh no, it's gonna be Sunken Saber, of course it is. You know what we really need? Defile. This is why I didn't want to use my AoE, by the way. This is why I was much more on board with using Twisted Tether. We got the Thalanos, Hellfire, and Mortal Coil first, unfortunately. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. We have 1 mana free. We'll be using it to tap. Now it can just be Drain Soul, Hellfire. Thalanos has to come down first, unfortunately. That needs to die. Thalanos, Hellfire, Mortal Coil. I don't have the mana to do all of it. I have second Mortal Coil. There we go. Holy shit, Thalanos is huge. Wait a second. Not change anything. Not really. It's funny, though. Twisted Tether, Drain Soul. It's not. I don't have the mana, unfortunately. I want to do Twisted Tether, Hellfire, Drain Soul, but I don't have the mana. All right. Still seems pretty good. Like, the fact that he's a 7/9 thanks to eating the elephant is kind of important. After the Hellfire. I didn't think Twisted Tether had very many targets in the deck, and I mostly thought of his 4-mana Siphon Soul. But the fact that it occasionally makes Sylvanas and Thalanos absolutely massive seems important. Like, is our plan just to grind through every single big beast he has? It better be, because it's happening. We got Thalanos, Drain Soul for the Shade Hounds. That's a perfectly efficient answer. Oh, that's unfortunate. I mean, there's not that many beasts left to hit, but there definitely are plenty of beasts left to hit. We absolutely are going to have to use Twisted Tether on that, otherwise it will kill us. I'm using Twisted Tether. We have 4 mana left. That's enough to kill the Shade Hounds. Not quite sure where all my health went this game. Oh, I'm just dead to Crush. Unfortunate, but unsurprising. So, do I think that's a damning condemnation of this deck? I don't know. The deck has not been performing well, that's for sure. The whole Jailer Mal'Ganis thing is theoretically cool, but even against Big Dreams Hunter, the game ended on turn 9. So, I don't think this is actually a relevant combo, unfortunately. I don't know where I sit with Jailer Mal'Ganis control Warlock. I think it's probably bad. I think it shouldn't be what you're playing for, and I think there are better things to build for in other control decks. I say that. There are definitely better things to build for. I don't know if I feel like any control decks are viable right now, but that is how it goes early on before we refined our list. It's easier to make an aggro deck run over a control deck than a control deck that actually stabilizes. But right now I'm looking at this, and I don't think Mal'Ganis Jailer is anywhere near fast enough to matter. I haven't had a single game where I even briefly thought I have time to play the Jailer. The game I have played, though, is one where I fought a deck that was, like, you know, like mine, except it just went way faster and beat your opponent to death, and that just seems better than this. That Imp deck seemed sick. I don't think he should run Abyssal Curses. He didn't seem to be running the full Fatigue package, and he definitely should have been. But this deck doesn't quite feel there to me. And I'll come back to it, but not until I see someone else refining their own list, because there's so many other things to experiment with. Jailer Mal'Ganis might be there. Control Warlock might be there, much more likely, without the Jailer Mal'Ganis combo using some other win condition, which might just be outvalue a Symphony of Sins, don't use any of this. Who knows? Anyways, that's it for now. I've been rather Incoherent. I wish Jailer Mal'Ganis had done better, and I'd love to hear about your experience with the control decks this expansion in the comments below. If you liked the video, like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff really does help the channel grow, and I do greatly appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next one.